Welcome back to Good Living. Of course, we're celebrating Children's Day here amongst the chaos, and that's still going on. But we're very lucky now to be chatting with Gary Henderson, playwright who is back down in Christchurch to check out Homeland, which is on at the Court Theatre, your play. Gary, welcome to Good Living.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I know it was very short notice, so I appreciate you taking the time to pop in and have a chat. Great to be down here to check out Homeland, I guess.
Yeah, well, I try to get down here as often as I can. Every time there's some reason to come down, I use it as an excuse to get out of Auckland, come back down here,
How long have you been living in Auckland for now?
About 13 years. Yeah, I was in Wellington before that and moved up. I actually moved up because I got a job directing Shortland Street. So I did that for about 3 years and then went back to writing. I tried to write some screenplays in the meantime and then went back to writing theatre.
So what was the chaos like of directing Shortland Street compared to writing and directing plays?
Well, it was being produced at the time by Simon Bennett, who I'd been at university with, and he started to get theatre producers to come in, theatre directors to come in and do it, because each of those scenes is like a small theatre piece. It's shot live. And he described it to me as like a constant, stressful technical rehearsal in theatre, and it's just what it was. So there's a lot of technical stuff to worry about that I hadn't had to deal with before. But you're working in a studio full of experts. You know, the camera operators are experts at what they're doing, and the mixer is an expert. She was an expert at what she was doing. So as long as you got the story right and got the actors right, it was fine.
That helps for having that great team.
Yeah.
Now, you're from Geraldine,
That's
of
right.
course, which is great. Great to see another fellow Geraldine person here with me on the couch. Were you brought up on a farm? Is that kind of how Homeland happened?
Not really. I shifted away from Geraldine when I was only 3 or 4 years old, but my uncle had a farm there, and my cousins, they all lived on a farm, so we used to go and visit them all the time. So I was like the young character in Homeland, who found the countryside a bit exotic, because that's where you went for your holidays, and you hung out with your relatives and your cousins, and you played in the barn, and they had all these toys that you didn't have. They had a tractor and things like that. So it made it kind of exotic. But really,
is the main character based on your uncle then?
No, it's a mixture of my partner's father and my grandfather in a way. My grandfather was the old guy that owned the farm before my uncle, and my partner's father is a farmer, and my father he's died now, but some of the attitudes are from him. So that it's a kind of a conglomeration of those three men.
How long did it take you to write?
About a year. I was actually working in Dunedin. I was in the Robert Lord Writers' Cottage and working at the university, and I had a commission from the Fortune Theatre in Dunedin, which went with the job, basically. And so I wanted to write something set in Otago, set in Dunedin, and part of my extended family lives in Otago and had gone through that situation. So it was really sharp in my mind at the time. So, I chose that as a subject, and I tried to make it feel like it was a Dunedin play, and I think it worked, because I don't like changing the place names, because it mentions geographical locations around Otago, and if it's ever done anywhere else, I insist that it stays there.
It still stays there.
Yeah, I have this feeling that if you make something really clear and specific and locate it somewhere, it gives it a reality that it won't have if it's just anywhere, anytime.
That's right, because that's what the whole essence is about, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You teach playwriting, don't you?
I do, yeah.
So how, for people that are kind of coming through the ranks now and thinking about a career as a playwright, obviously, extremely hard work and things like that, but is it something that they can start and do as soon as they leave school?
Yeah, I don't know if career as a playwright is really the right word. Because I teach at Unitec New Zealand up in Auckland, and I teach for the Department of Performing and Screen Arts, who have a writing and directing program. But I keep telling the writers that they're not going to see a classified ad, wanted playwright.
Exactly.
They're not going to see that. They have to make their own work. And people coming out of school could start immediately just by you write something and you twist a few arms to get it on in some classroom or hall somewhere and coerce all your friends to come and see it. And that's how everybody starts. You don't get a job with a theatre that commissions you immediately to write a full-length play that's going to go on their main stage out of school.
You've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Unitec's a good place to start,
That's
though,
great,
as well.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Gary. Once again, we do appreciate you coming in and chatting to us. And I know that people that have been to see Homeland absolutely loving it. I can't wait to head along and see it. And make sure you stay with us, because later in the show with the coffee catch-up, Donna and I will have a double pass to give away. Thank you very much, Gary.